Okay, today we're going to be working on the standard MAFS 5 NF 1.1. And the standard says we're going to add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators. And this is including mixed numbers. And that's going to be a focal point today. By replacing given fractions by equivalent fractions in such a way to produce equivalent sum or difference of fractions with like denominators. Now today we're specifically going to be working on subtracting fractions from numbers between 1 and 2, which means mixed numbers. Essential question you have to remember to answer when you get to the "and finally" part of our lesson is, what strategies can I use to subtract a fraction with unlike denominator? Okay, so let's give this a try. If you notice, we have 1 1/3 minus 1/2. And I've created models down below, and we should be very good at creating models and equivalent fractions using models at this point. So you can see we have 1 1/3 minus 1/2. Now, notice my one whole. My one whole right here is actually into thirds. And the reason it's in thirds because the fractional part of my mixed number is in thirds. So that one whole is actually 3/3. Now, in order to create equivalent fractions, we know we're going to start over here with our half, and we're going to combine that to our thirds. And then we're going to take our thirds, and we're going to combine it with our half. So we can see now this one whole actually became 6/6. And this 1/3 became 2/6. And our last one, which is our half, became 3/6. Now we're going to be practicing what they call subtraction from the whole. So we're going to take our half here, which is actually equivalent to 3/6, and we're going to subtract 3/6 from the whole. And then we're going to add the two remaining fractions. And you can see the remaining fraction we have here would be 3/6 plus 2/6, which equals 5/6. When we added them up, we see 5/6. Now let's look up top and see what this looks like with just numbers. So we know 1 1/3. Okay, so this would actually be 3/3 plus 1/3 minus 1/2. When we converted them, we ended up with 6/6 plus 2/6 minus 3/6. When we subtracted from the whole, we took 6/6 minus 3/6, and we got 3/6, and we're going to add that back to 2/6, which now gives us 5/6. Okay, our next problem is 1 1/5 minus 1/3. So if you want to go ahead and give this a try, go ahead. Or if you just want to copy the second model down also and try it maybe on the third one, it's up to you. Okay, so if you notice, I've created a model here. And the first one is 1 1/5, and the other one is 1/3. You notice our whole is split into fifths again. That's because the fractional part of our mixed numbers in fifths. Now, the first thing we're going to do is create equivalent fractions. So we're going to take our thirds, and we're bringing them over to our fifths. Then over on our thirds, we're going to bring our fifths. And this actually created 15ths for us. So we know the one whole here, and I know it's 15ths because all the arrays are 3 by 5. And the one whole is 15 15ths. And the 1/5 is equal to 3 15ths. And the 1/3 is actually equal to 5 15ths. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract our number from our whole. And we have 5 15ths. So I'm coming over here, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 15ths subtracted. Then I'm going to add these two. And I can see here I have 10 15ths in this one and 3 15ths in the second one, which gives us 13 15ths. Now let's see up top how this looks. Our 1 1/5, we know when we recreated this was 15 15ths plus 3 15ths, and we're going to subtract 5/15. We subtracted from our whole, so 15/15 minus 5/15 was 10/15, and we had to add the 3/15 back in, which gives us 13/15. If you'd like to pause the video and try this yourself, go ahead, and then I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so I've modeled it. This is our one whole. So our one whole, this is our half. And over here we have 2/3. Now when we combine them, we take our thirds to our halves. And we're taking our half to our thirds. And that's actually given me 6, 6. And the half is 3/6. And this is also 4/6. So the way it looks, now we're going to subtract the 4/6 from the whole. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. When we add these together, we end up with 5/6. Now let's see how it looks up top. We know the whole ended up being 6/6, and we have 3/6 from our half, and we want to subtract 4/6 from it. So I'm subtracting 4/6 from 6/6, which gives us 2/6. Then we added back in the 3/6, and that gives us 5/6. Okay, go ahead and pause this one if you'd like. Okay. Now you're going to start seeing now that the blocks are getting larger for this type of strategy. Okay, especially using the blocks. We will get to just working numerically with numbers. Right now we're still using the blocks. Now you can see we have our 1 and our 3/4, and we're subtracting 4/5 from it. Okay, so I'm going to take my fifths and I'm bringing them over. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm bringing my fourths over here. I like going to halves and then fourths. So we can see this whole here, and we got a 4/5, so we know it's 20. So it's going to be 20/20. And this one here is going to be a 3/5, so it's going to be 15/20. And this one actually ends up being a 4/4, so that's 16/20. Now, using the models, we're subtracting from the whole, so I'm going to take the 16/20 away from it. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16/20. Now we're going to add the two remaining, which I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we end up with 19/20. Now, let's see what this looks like up above. We know we had 20/20 for a whole, plus our 3/4, which is 15/20, and we wanted to subtract 16/20. So now I'm going to subtract from the whole, so I know 20/20 minus 16/20 gives me 4/20. And I'm going to add back in my 15/20, which equals 19/20. All righty then. Okay, we're done with our presentation for today. So if you need more practice, if you go to the Dig Deeper section, there's actually the problem set that you would work on and the homework. So if you feel you need to dig deeper, feel free to go ahead and go work on those. Okay, and please do not forget to respond to the think portion, and then also respond to the essential question. Remember, the essential question gets responded to in your journal. Okay, where the think part you respond to me online. All right, have a good day. We'll see you in class.